Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Barndo. It's been 5 or 6 months. I got a bit busy with obviously real life farming. Things changed. I had to get a lot of accounts going for scrims and all that kind of stuff. And here we are. So a shitload has happened since last time I've been on YouTube. I did ask myself for a long time, do I want to keep going? And I had to stop. I just didn't have the time. So at the moment, there's been 2 to 3 major releases. And what's been interesting out of that is obviously the friendly wars have been added in to the mix, and that's really created an absolute change. So I'm just going to start a war now. I've got heaps to talk about, so I'll try and do it through the replay so everyone doesn't see a half-hour video and go, oh, stuff that. But really awesome war here versus Buckeye Nation. And what this actually was, we've joined the league called the MLCW, and that's Miners League Clan Wars, and it's one of these leagues that has started up with the addition of the in-game friendly wars, and it has just been amazing. So there's 2 big ones that I'm aware of now. You've got obviously CWL and then MLCW, and MLCW came to inception regarding being the smaller clans and able to get the smaller clans in there and the ones that weren't able to field the big lists like CWL with the 4 or 5 Town Hall 11s, 10 or 11 Town Hall 10s and those kinds of fixtures. And we definitely fell into that category. We've done about 6 months of potlucks in clan. So we did those up to a 2-weekly benefit. And unfortunately for us, the times really do suck. And I mean, they're bad. They start at 5, 6 o'clock my time in the morning. So really, we only ever got 3 or 4 hours, and organising them was quite hard. Whereas what's happened with these leagues coming out is that they've been a little bit flexible, and the leaders organise, the reps, I should say, for their clans, organise the times that suit the pair of the clans. So you can see here, from this particular war, I'll just mix in a bit of chatter as I'm going along. Buckeye Nation, they did miss the 2-star on DIN. No, there was, 1 3-star on DTN. There was a couple of fails there, unfortunately, from their guys, and obviously polished off all the 9s. And for us, we managed to have those 2 2-starred from Town Hall 10s, and then everything else was cleared off. There was a couple of low-weight 10s. We definitely had weight on them for the Town Hall 10s, and I'm pretty happy that that didn't factor into the overall result of the war. It was a good war from both clans, absolutely awesome fun. We didn't manage to play off in the regular season. The Moochers actually moved up to CWL with something that happened in there, and Buckeye Nation took over their position. So let's get into some replays. I did want to start with, we call this account Tits, and it was a great hit from Dave to get the 2-star. So I'll just talk over the top of this. So CWL, MLCW, I should say. What happened with that? It started with 16 teams, and it was clans that designed to be able to run as little as 10 Town Hall 9s. And one of the teams in the finals is Aussie Woot Woot. And they did exactly that all season. They ran 10 Town Hall 9s, and that was it. It's probably not as viable nowadays with the changes that have happened in the last major update, but I'll go into that later on through here. And it's just a really, really fun. It's allowed teams to get in there. You can see the teams that have been doing these kinds of scrims and wars. You can see that they've got the benefits from it, and it's definitely made a difference. But Season 2 of MLCW, Season 2 is going to be totally different. There's going to be 3 breakdowns now, whereas Season 1 was a lot of rules being worked out along the way. Season 2 is going to have 3 breakdowns, so we're talking 11 Town Hall 9s and 4 Town Hall 8s, so as small as that, and that's called the Kings League. Queens League has 3 10s, 17 Town Hall 9s, so that's 20 players total. And then you've got the Wardens League, which is the big one, and that's going to have 2 11s, it's going to have 5 10s and then 18 Town Hall 9s. So that's actually what CWL Light went with for their first season of that, is the 2-5-18 split. And it's something that Aussie Addicts have run for a little while in MLCW and quite a few of the other clans. We matched North Awakens with that. We matched Swarm, Synergy with that. We obviously, this war here was a 2-5-18 breakdown. I think we did have at least one other war in the season that did that. But weekly wars, it's not something you can just walk into. You really have to have a list that's prepared to do it and all of these kinds of things. And it takes time. You're going to have people trying to do their hero upgrades along the way. You're going to have all kinds of things happening. And it's just an absolutely massive change to the game. And it's going to change how farm wars are reacted to, because a lot of times with your farm wars, you're seeing clans with these 0.5s and these engineered accounts to reduce weight. Whereas coming to things like clan wars and leagues, 0.5s aren't going to be any good to you, because most clans won't match 0.5s. They're too ambiguous. They change the war results. And a lot of the time, it's a matter of who engineers them better. Whereas if you're just going with the straight breakdowns, it's going to be one of those things that hopefully changes the scale of the game. I definitely think Supercell need to make some kind of penalty at the engineered level. I've still got accounts engineered, so I'm not saying I don't use them, but mine are put away. We don't really use them in our normal farm wars. Personally, I think they need to get rid of them and just make them the maximum level of the maximum weight of the previous level. So 0.5s, you know, if you get a 9.5, a 10.5, I think people should have that option to be able to play it. A lot of people progressing from Town Hall 9 to 10 are a little bit nervous and worried about what happens, and it's nice for them to do a few offences first and get a couple units before they start dropping Infernos. So there should be room for that, and if people want to engineer it and play it, but what I'm talking about is your Town Hall 11s that have a weight that's underneath the Town Hall 8, those kinds of things. It's time Supercell actually pull their finger out and sort it out. And yeah, it's just one of those things. So I believe that these leagues are going to help fix that, because you're going to have a drive and a desire for people to get into these things, and then it's going to help push that sort of agenda. So I'll go into a few stats for our war here versus Buckeye Nation. And what I really enjoyed about this was it was obviously meant to be the Mooch's place. They've subbed out for a CWL change, done that, and then MLCW has allowed them to finish the season off. There was some unhappy people with it, you know, all these kinds of things, but it was quite easy to organise with Buckeye Nation. Their reps were great. There was no major hassles there, and yeah, it is something that does take time getting used to, organising these things with other clans, and I can definitely say I'm not completely used to it myself. We did 6 months of potluck, so you get a breakdown, you match it, and you go nuts, whereas this is talking to different clans and having these kinds of relations and earning these relations and taking your time. So anyone that's had a bit of a chat to the old barn dog knows that sometimes I can probably say the wrong thing, and I definitely try to apologise where necessary. But yeah, it's definitely opened up a whole new world. So let's have a look at number 13 next. Where are we now? What was really interesting about this war here with Buckeye Nation was Town Hall 9 has obviously had a lot of changes with the Loon dropping, the Dragons dropping faster, and then Peckers haven't been noticed as much. They still aren't heavily used, not by our squad anyway. And I saw Buckeye Nation had 6 Town Hall 9 fresh hits, and we had the 7, so very close in numbers. But out of BN's 6 fresh hits, 5 of them were Golar Loons. So they're using a strategy which absolutely smashed it on some bases, but it's maybe hurt them in the end, because we had to use 3 Town Hall 10 hit downs, and Buckeye had to use 6. So what was lucky though was we did have the 3 hit ups, so 9s hitting 10s, and Buckeye Nation just had the 2 in the end. So you can see we managed to get an extra sort of helping hand from the Town Hall 9s. I noticed in the MLCW final from Aussie Woot Woot, that was a 10 on 10 9s only versus who was it, TMK, and that was a perfect score for Aussie Woot Woot. And it was 29 points. I think it was 98% for TMK. So they were very close to 2 perfect wars. So Town Hall 9, I think, still possibly got a little bit of room. Hopefully the base meta's changed. Hopefully it's not completely dead. And that was what I was happy seeing, so many fails from both sides. Obviously, when you're in the war, you don't want to see all these fails during the war, but when you analyse it at the end, you've got to sort of say, well, that's pretty awesome to see, you know. People still have play in that. It's still about building a good base, realising that the meta's changing. Out of all of our fresh hits, we had 7 fresh hits. Where are we? I think 5 of them involve some form of air, being it loons or hounds and loons, dragons and loons. You see an attack here from Dennis. He absolutely wrecked this base. All these Town Hall 9s I'm showing are fresh hits. So we don't know what's in the CC. We don't know where anything is. What I've noticed a lot at the moment is Town Hall 9 seems to be trying to protect just one defend. If they can get one defend, you kind of feel like it's a bit of a win. But then in saying that, both teams in this war had a base that took 5 hits. That's absolutely massive. And what was interesting with those was the 5th hit on both those bases were a Town Hall 10 to clear it. So there's still base play. Bit of a troll. Tesla's on the buildings here. There's still that opportunity to go, righto, let's build. I don't know that anyone had a freeze trap involved in these wars. I really haven't seen them. I haven't had a chance to see them too much in there. So that was a good hit there from Dennis. We'll have a look here now with Beck. She's gone in with the stoned Gobolo. Now, what was interesting with this was we're on Discord. We had probably half a dozen people on Discord at this stage, and we've talked about it, given Beck alternative suggestions, and she's gone with her gut feeling, her first feeling of the attack, and that was to do the golem phase from where we are over the top here. And you can see 3 golems. Unfortunately, that king got drawn out in the end. She hadn't intended on that happening, but she's done well with the wall breaker timing there. Out comes the baby CC, no Valks, so it's really a baby and wizards. And you can see she's got some loons for the tail, and she's timed those loons on the top there absolutely perfectly. Second rage to get proper use out of those bowlers and golems, and you can just see these loons now with that quick drop. They have absolutely changed the game. You're going to see now more air skellies. You're going to see air traps now used a lot more versatile than what they were before, because a lot of the times with air traps, people were trying to stop walks, put out a bit of a trick, all these kinds of things. But now you've got to think what's going to happen with air. And great attack from Beck there. All up, it's just been a really good time at Aussie Addicts over the last 5-6 months. We've grown as a clan. We've managed to start up an alliance, which has been 4 clans involved in that now, and we've got 100% Aussie Woot Woot, hired goons, and of course ourselves. And out of those teams, we've got 2 teams competing in MLCW Season 2. That's Woot Woot and hired goons. 100% Aussie is still at that stage. They're not too sure where they want to go. Greatly competitive, run a few 0.5s in their wars, and have started doing internal family scrims, as well as they did fight, I think Oz Adults were there at one stage on their team. So we've managed to get that Aussie alliance, and what I really want to push for this year coming up, 2017, is some live events in Australia. I really want to see us meeting up and doing something, and I've got ideas. We've got things in clan we're trying to do. Tomorrow night we're actually going to meet at one of the pubs, just with a few local crew in Perth. We're hoping around 5 of us turn up for that, and it's going to be the finals for Aussie Woot Woot versus Aussie Addicts for MLC Season 1, and we'll have a bit of a laugh and a few pints. Hopefully I can get Beck pissed and Din as well, and maybe they might not succeed on their attacks as much. So you see Mark there had the Shattered Golar Loon, just absolutely smashed that base. So we'll have another look here. Where are we, Dan? Dan's gone in with a Lightning Lava Loon strat. This is something I use a bit myself, and I'll just pause and show some of the thinking behind this. You see now with the clan castle where we are there, that's a free draw clan castle. I really think these bases need to go, unless they're a trick. Maybe you can use healers, you can use a long draw minions, long draw archers really confuse people when they're expecting something simple. But for this style of a strategy, the intention was to lightning out 2 air defense, and then draw the clan castle. If it's air units, take it away, kill it. You see the splash damage on the queen there. Now what was interesting with this attack was you can see the spacing was perfect. Loon goes down on that mortar to draw the air clan castle. Only one earthquake required with that split damage there. And you see Troll Tesla in the corner, picked up there with an archer, and it's something that may actually win a defend here and there, but with the style of attack with this was to draw that, the heroes were to go at that corner and then walk their way around counterclockwise, hopefully not drawing that clan castle. So you see, out comes old Jimmy Bob, he's protecting the queen, and then it's just a simple lava loon. The hounds are going through, the loons are wrecking crap, and there's no major problem here. Now you see a donated skelly spell, that's going to be for the end queen, and there's just things going everywhere. Queen's still going, she's doing her job, she's not really going to get much else, draws the Valks, that's going to chop her right up. But you see now, almost a full value hound, out comes a skelly spell, by itself a skelly spell will kill a max queen. There was no defences, nothing to protect it, and that was just a simple 3-star in the end. Troll building missed up the top there, corner hut. Where are we going next? So as a whole, the ACA has started for us. We're going to work on our 4 clans. We have people sharing around. We have people helping with the upcoming leagues. We've managed, we are Aussie Addicts. We have a lot of multi-account holders. I myself have the most. What have we got here? Buzz doing a stoned Goboho. We've got accounts now being shared across and doing that. So it's good because you're only getting 50 people into one clan. That can be hard if you've got 3 or 4 people, 3 or 4 accounts of one person. You want to put those accounts in because you're donating to yourself, you're not drawing other people's resources. There's always that feeling, and it's just nice to be able to splash out our accounts elsewhere and put them around. So as a clan, AA, we are definitely recruiting. It is just one of those things we need to make sure we keep restocking. We are a proud Aussie clan. We want to get the live events going next year. I think it just sounds absolutely amazing fun, and it just hasn't happened yet. And now hopefully going into CWL Light, we just got it approved today. We're in the Inferno League. We're hoping to hopefully win more than we lose. That's the first aim. I definitely don't know whether we'll go as far as what we have in MLCW, but on MLCW, I think we definitely had a little bit of an advantage going in because we've been doing potluck for 6 months. We've seen these hard wars. We went through the phase where we ourselves used engineered accounts in our clans, and it made us become weak as players because we were using the 0.5s and relying on those to win a war, and it's just more fun getting out your full bases. So it's all well and good winning farm wars, but definitely my suggestion going forward to my clans in the Alliance is try to worry less about winning the war and just overall enjoying your clash, and this is where these leagues come in, and it has been absolutely amazing. So I hope I haven't dragged on for too long. I'm just going to show this last attack from Dave. He got a fresh 3 hit here. It's been interesting watching the changes to Town Hall 11 come in. Obviously the hero levels were all on the grind again. I haven't had to grind Town Hall 10 or 11 heroes for a long time, but definitely there, and I've only got my queen up to 41, so I've been a bit slack, but Dave's got the 2 levels here. Just a mass bowler, they're still there. So really I think what's happened is Supercell's tried to make 11 and 10 more playable, and that's where you see these changes to loons, dragons. They don't get used very much. Peckers, I use them quite a bit myself now at Town Hall 10 versus 10 because now you're not getting that double damage effect. They're making really good alternatives to golems. They're doing the damage, they're attack quick. I think they're a 16 move speed, are they? Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, great hit from Dave. Overall, I can only say absolutely smashing war, Aussie Addicts. Thank you, Buckeye Nation. It was a good final. There was a lot of people waiting to see the results and to see it. And yeah, from that's about it. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm going to try going once a week, and we'll start from there. Other than that, as always, guys, clash on.
I challenge you to a dance-off. Hands off, no trash talk, no backwalk. Trust me, you, that's all.